Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly Steelchair for what is simply Wrestle Kingdom, and it's a review. So we're just gonna sit back and talk wrestling for the next maybe 2 hours. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the weekly Steelchair. Of course, I am Reece. I am the host and owner of this channel. Hope everyone is doing well. And may as well ask, has anyone had a chance yet to watch that event? Have you? Have you not? Well, if you haven't, you've missed out. But I'm certainly here to talk about it. I have every match available to review. We have 10 matches. We have, including the opening on the preview card, so we are going to review that. So we are going to discuss that one. We've got a lot to do. If anyone would like to join, you are more than welcome. I'm actually going to drop the StreamYard link in the chat, so I'm just going to do that just now. That will be on Twitch and YouTube, so if you would like to join, come in and say hello. You're more than effing welcome, because that's how it works around here. It's my channel, it's my rules, and as long as you enjoy it, that's what counts. So let's get to it once this decides to play properly on my phone. Come on. Thank you. But Catherine, it is an absolute pleasure to see you, so hope you're doing well. Let me know what you particularly enjoyed about Wrestle Kingdom. I just want to say there were some positives, some negatives. Some matches really were wrong order, and also some of the talent didn't get booked the way they should have been booked. But we're going to look at that as well, and I think that might be better when it comes to Wrestle Dynasty tomorrow, which we're also going to be reviewing here on the weekly Steelchair. Before I get into this, just going to make it long story short, the certain things we're going to quickly cover first. So this is one of the, if not the lowest Wrestle Kingdom events in some time. It's actually 3,000 in terms of live attendance. It's down by 3,000 to last year's show. Last year was 27,000. This year it was 24,000. So it makes you wonder if there's a little bit of a hearsay when it comes to New Japan at the moment, and I think that's something that needs to be looked at. And again, I'm not going to critique them in that way. Attendances do go up and down, but if it's your biggest event, it should be a lot higher. At one point, you were getting 40,000 for this event. Now, it's unfortunate, but again, even for 24,000, that's still a good turnout, especially in the Tokyo Dome. It's still a good turnout. It's still a good crowd. The crowd were wild all night, and it was a pleasure to enjoy some of this. Some of it, not so much. But we're going to get into that. There's some matches I really enjoyed. There's one or two that were meh. But that's just how it is. Perhaps that is a good point. Now, it might not be as strong at the moment, but it's salvageable. It's salvageable. It's not like it's dead and buried. I'm not saying that in the slightest, of course. Like, I'm not going to say that, but there's a strength to it. There's an element, but we are going to get into this in just a second. I just want to ask as well, before we do, please can you hit that like button, share the stream across your socials, share it with friends, subscribe to this channel, and just let me know what you think of the content and what you would like to see from the channel going forward, 2025 and beyond. And also, the last thing I'd like to say is thank you to the 250 subscribers that our channel now has. For me, that's incredible considering what happened previously. Obviously, I put up one bloody clip of it wasn't even a New Japan match. It wasn't just New Japan, but it was New Japan and TNA combined, and New Japan thought, I'm just going to destroy your channel. Wouldn't let me take it down. Like, they wouldn't let me take the clip down. They just absolutely bombarded my channel. And that was it. My original channel, gone. But that won't be happening again. Instead, it'll just be reviewing the content without sharing anything. So we're just going to do that. So let's get into it. Let's have some fun. As I said, if you have watched Wrestle Kingdom, the link is in the chat if you would like to join me. But let's get into it. And as we always do on this channel, we will share it so you guys can see the matches, the match order. And we're just going to go with it. So I'm just going to share my screen. Window. There we go. And that will come on screen now. Automatic, but that's not the view I want. I want this one. Oh, too high, 2 seconds. Yeah, I'll just stick with this one. Okay, so Wrestle Kingdom did kick off with the New Japan Ramble, which is it's an incoming gauntlet match with Battle Royal rules. The match goes until there's final two entrants, and then it fully becomes first pinfall, first submission victory. This year, however, it's normally for the King of Pro Wrestling Championship, but that was retired by champion Great-O-Khan, who did lose at the very end of the match to Hiroki Goto. He has retired the championship, and he's now declared that going forward that it should just be for whoever is the IWGP World Champion. The winner of the New Japan Ramble gets the top contendership spot. So first of all, the match, good pacing. It actually had a good pacing to it. The entrance as well, especially, there were a mixture of quick entrance to the ring. There was a mixture of fast and slow. Big issue, of course, was the Sanada entrant. Sanada ruined it. Not because he's poor, but because the minute Tai Chi came in, he just bolted. He didn't really do anything. He just escaped by eliminating himself. And it was crap. Sorry about that. Just getting told I'm getting beef stew for dinner. Decent choice. Anyway, so as I was saying, the match itself, it is going well until Tai Chi gets involved. The minute Tai Chi goes, obviously, he was betrayed by Sanada towards the end of 2024. Rightly so, what do? You go after him. Instead, Sanada jumps over the top rope and gets himself eliminated. Thinking he was going to do something, he eliminates himself because he's an idiot. So that's a loss. That actually kind of took away from the match, however, considering the talent that was in the match. Like the likes of Kenta was in this match. You had Kozi Fujita, etc. And it was lovely to see the current MLW World Champion, Tajima. He was in the match as well. That was a nice spot. Oleg Bolton, he's going to have a great year. He was a good standout. Great-O-Khan. It was just, from them, it was great. Apart from that, that's when it went wrong. And that's my only negative I've got about this match is Sanada. I like Sanada, but he fucking ruined it, which is typical Sonata. Ever since he's joined War, like the Bullet Club War Dogs, like he just hasn't been the same, and it's been really weak, and that for me is quite depressing when you look at it. But hey ho, Catherine says that she thought the pacing of Wrestle Kingdom was off. Yes and no. Like, I think when you look at it, I think this is where I said where you had to really swap some matches around. That's where it kind of really took the hit. So that's my problem really, is if you don't, you've got to get the matches in the right order, otherwise you're really going to fuck it up. So take the opening match, for example. Perfect opening card match, the Fatal 4-Way Tokyo Terror ladder match. This match was spot for spot, moment for moment. This was exactly what you want. And shout out to my talent of the match. Now, obviously, Vegeta and Robbie Eagles won the match, become the youngest IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. But my standout talent was TJP. TJP for me made this match. He's the one who got the right moment that you needed, and it was the moment when he ran the ladder and eclipsed Drill at the top, and at that point Drilla had no idea what to do. He was completely stuck off the mat, and it was at that point where I thought it was going to be either Catch-22 or Ichiban to win. I don't think Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney had a good showing for a reasonably strong tag team. I actually think I really like these two. I really do like Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney. They're a good tag team, but I wasn't overly impressed by them in this match. I wasn't particularly impressed by Kevin Knight either. I think his timing was off. There's a great example of where he went wrong. It was similar to, because obviously Kushida's team with the machine guns, so I'm used to it. It's the neckbreaker figure. It's like that neckbreaker figure splash move, and it's not the one off the turnbuckle. It's the one off the ladder. He botches that. Now, Kevin Knight is a good talent. He's a very good talent, but he botches that move. He doesn't get anywhere close to the torso. It's not even close to the knees either. He completely misses the opponent, and that really fucked it up. It took away from the match. It took away the enjoyment of the move, and that figure splash is now worthless. I'm sorry, but it's now a worthless move, and that's an issue I've got with that in general, and that's something that I will not hold lightly. Kushida as well, the ankle lock off the ladder, always good to see a submission move being used, but nah, TJP, honestly, man, he was the man of this one. Stand for your Ripcord King. What's up, Abu? How you doing? Yeah, Catherine and Leo, my man Leo King Abul, or Abul just in general, agrees with me about TJP. I've always liked TJP. He's underutilized. He's underrated. He deserves to be in a better position, but that's all I can generally say. It comes down to that. I also think as well, maybe, and this is what the problem is, this match, even though it was a good opening card match, especially for under 15 minutes, I think it was too filled. I think it was overdone in terms of how many's in the match. Obviously, Robbie Eagles and Cozy Vegeta, they won the Junior Super Tag League, so they're entitled to the tag match. Kevin Knight and Kushida, obviously tag champions. You've got Catch-22 with the rematch, and Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney. Obviously, you want a Bullet Club representation, But I think this match alone should have just been Kevin Knight and Kushida versus Ichiban Sweet Boys. I think it should have just been those two in the ladder match. I don't think it needed 4 separate teams. I think that really hampered it. I think if you had done the 2 teams, you might have got close to 18 minutes. And that would have been so much better for this ladder match because they would have used it a little bit better. I think the pressure on Kushida and Kevin Knight would have been different. And I think that would have meant the figure splash wouldn't have been botched. Because you're racing against the clock. You're racing against the time to do this match. Your exact given spots at the right given time. You're under that much pressure. I don't think Kevin Knight would have botched it at that point. I think he would have got the right contact. I could be wrong, but it felt like if you're rushing it in that way, it takes away from the match and it hurts the talent. So I'm just going to say overall, it was a good match, but it was a little bit rushed. It was a little bit rushed because it's a ladder match. A gimmick match has always got a specific time limit. It's always got to be done in a specific way. But if you've got 4 separate teams in a ladder match, there's no room for effort. It does start really well with a good brawl. I did like the fact it started with a typical brawl instead of teams running for who's going to get the first ladder or who's going to control the ring whilst the rest try to bring ladders in. I didn't get that, which is really good. So I'm glad for New Japan in a way for doing it like that instead of a typical ladder match, which is whoever gets the first ladder controls the narrative, or if you get the ring while someone's in the ring with a ladder, we'll see who takes it. So that was at least a positive. This is where the pacing goes wrong. So you've got a rushed ladder match. You're now going into the only women's match on the card. And this is a great match, by the way. So don't take what I'm saying as, oh, I'm just critiquing it because it's the women. No. I love this match. Absolutely, this should have been longer. Actually, I would have had this match over one of them that should have been there. And I'll let you figure out which one. But Abel's right when he says that the women's match should have been longer. He is right. I would have gave that match longer than what one match in particular on the card shouldn't have been there. I would have replaced one match and just shrunk the card a little bit. I actually like when New Japan pulls out the 9-match main event cards. The 9-match main cards, sorry. But I would have flipped it a little bit. I think I would have shrunk one match down by a couple of minutes. And I would have said one of them was done in the wrong way. So I'll get to that very, very soon. But the pacing, so this is what went wrong with Mayu Iwatani and Azumi. So their feud has been going on since Stardom. Azumi and Mayu Iwatani are 2 of the best women's professional wrestlers on the planet. They've already, even in a less than 9-minute match, have already set the bar for women's match of the year. It's already the top contender. Will it be top though? It's very likely that there will be a match that will eclipse it throughout the year. Right now, that is Women's Match of the Year for 2025. But the fact is, this match should have got 5 of the minutes that the Naito versus Takahashi match got. Takahashi Naito was really good to watch, but that went 5 minutes too long. And the Mayu Azumi match was 5 minutes too short. It was also in the wrong order. Me personally, I would have flipped it round. So me personally, I would have went after the ladder match. I would have went Naito versus Takahashi, and I would have gave them 11 to 12 minutes. It was still a good match. They sold really well, for each other, but they went too long. I would have flipped that round. I also would have made the Suji versus David Finlay match for me, which was by far the best match on the card. I would have made that the co-main event. I would have brought down the main event by also about 10 minutes. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to come to it very soon. But apart from this, the Mayu Iwatani match. So this match changed when the rebound off the rope super kick landed. That match completely turned the minute that super kick hit. It completely dazzled the champion, but in response, she flew back into a crossbody. It allowed her to regain full control of Azumi. Azumi at that point was done. She got hit with a missile dropkick from the top rope, right into the chin. That diving dropkick from the top rope hits right in the chin, down. We get the tombstone pile driver. Azumi sold that like she had been murdered. Like she looked dead. Really, really good tombstone spot. I like to see the tombstone being used in that way, even if it's not a finish, but you use it to just effectively plant your opponent. It gets the crowd up, and it gets the crowd right on your side, and that's exactly what we got. The crowd were fucking killing it throughout this show. We then get the two-step counter, which is also the two-step drill. That's countered. We get the second attempt, successful. Champion retains. Good match. I don't do ratings, none of that rubbish. People elsewhere can do the rating stuff. I just thought this match was very good to watch. It was just under-timed, and that does not help. The next match is exactly where it should have been. The next match I just want to give a special shout out to this guy. Now, quite recently, which is a shame, quite recently, El Phantasmo battled testicular cancer. No one knew if he was going to wrestle again. No one knew if he was going to ever be cleared again to wrestle. And no one had thought that maybe he would ever compete again at the Tokyo Dome. He defeats the horrible disease. He's cleared to compete, and he wins the match. Incredible performance. The defending champion Ren Narita is gagged up at the very start of the four-way. He's the last man to enter. He exits the ring. Jeff Cobb follows him, and then immediately, El Phantasmo with that running over the top Tope con Hilo that he hits, lands it right on the champion, knocks him down. We get a brawl out in the ring. We got another outside the ring dive from Jeff Cobb as well. Shout out to Jeff Cobb. He was excellent. He is booked consistently strong by New Japan. Take notes, certain bookers how to book big men, by the way. New Japan book Jeff Cobb excellently. I thought it was fun all round. I thought Ryohei Oiwa, I'm a big fan of his. I think he just gets it. Like, he could be the future of New Japan. Depending on what they do with him, he could be the future of the promotion. There's moments in the match where his timing, however, is a little bit off. But apart from that, it just felt right. It was good to see, and I really liked this match. I liked the fact that we had the that finish by Jeff Cobb that he hits is brutal. Like that power slam type thing that he does is really cool. The rotation, its speed, the delivery, it's right where you want it to be. But we still get the break on that. Obviously, this match is no disqualification. Ren Narita with his 2x4, it tries to take out the opposition. Fails spectacularly. He eats the pin. He eats the pin because El Phantasmo with his springboard frog splash. He celebrates judiciously with the crowd, holding up the championship for the first time. We have a new champion, our second title change. I just love the fact that it was ELP, you know, because of what he's been through. Like, I never thought I would likely see him wrestle again because of what he had to endure. But I'm glad that he defeated it. I'm glad he's healthy. I'm glad he's competing. And also, he's kind of beneficial by the fact that he's going to be doing TV title matches, because the TV title matches are 15 minutes maximum. Like, you're under 15, you are literally 15 minutes only. I think that's going to help him. So obviously the different types of opponents are going to be quick and fast for him, but it's the pacing of the match which is going to help him, so he's not going to be overdone. So you won't see him doing 20-minute master classes. You're going to see him doing 15-minute mechanical work, and that is what you want to see. So shout out to El Phantasmo for returning to the Tokyo Dome with a winning effort and getting exactly what he deserves, a new singles title. Abel says main event was really good, but it was too long for me. Yeah, I agree. From the 3 matches we've reviewed so far, like from the main card specifically, what did you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen of the chat? And also, what did you not enjoy? I just want to say that I didn't enjoy the order, but I really liked the timing. I think, apart from the women's match, I think they were undercut by 5 minutes. But I did like the pacing of, you go from this to a single to the main event, and you enjoy that. You get the right barrier of match quality and the right way of doing it. I will give Catherine props. She's consistent. She doesn't like women's wrestling. She doesn't. But I always like your honesty, my friend. I know for yourself you're not a particular fan of it, and I don't blame you for it. Because when you look at women's wrestling, the quality is hearsay. Like, across the board, in any promotion, the quality is hearsay. And I think that has to change if it wants to get even higher in the grand scale of things. It will never... Women's wrestling is fun when done right, but women's wrestling will never be better than men's wrestling. It's not because it's gender specific. It's just that you get more, and you get more afforded time. You also get more growth. I think women's wrestling, there has been a growth in the last 10 years compared to where it was. I praise one company for that more than anything else. But since then, the more organizations, the more time and the more investment in women's wrestling, I don't think it's enough. I still think there needs to be more. It hasn't happened since the late 2000s with TNA. Just my opinion, of course. I think people over-fascinate with certain talents and certain organizations. I think Mexico do it really well. Yeah, she was really good. She was really good for movement. I like the way that she sold the tombstone more than anything else. I think the selling of the tombstone was incredible. I love the moonsault as well. Specifically from Mayu, obviously hitting both moves, but I love the way that Asame sold them. She is going to be way up there for the best in the world. Right now, it is hard to ignore the talent and the quality of Mayu Iwatani. Like, she just gets it. Like, she just knows where she needs to be, the right place, the right time. She knows, obviously, wrestling we know is scripted, right? It's not a big deal. But even with that, she knows in the right place, the right time, where to be. Just going to reward Abel as well, because Abel's a nice guy. He's always here. So, Abel, welcome to the Moderation Club. The timing is key. If you don't get the timing right, you're never going to be a top wrestler, regardless. Mayu Iwatani has that. And I'm just going to prove a point. Just watch this. She's the longest reigning champion, by the way. But just look how old she is. She's only 4 years older than me, by the way. And she's the longest reigning IWGP Women's Champion. Incredible. Incredible. But that proves my point. But I'm also going to prove another point. Look at Azumi. Azumi is 22 years old. She is literally the future of women's wrestling. Which is fucking incredible. 22 years old, and she is killing it on the main scene. There's a lot of other great women's wrestlers out there that deserve their flowers. Stephanie Vacour, Julia. I know not a lot of people are not going to like this because of what she's done in the past, but Tessa Blanchard, Jordan Grace, Masha Slamovich. These are all really great wrestlers. Delta as well. Roxanne Perez. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are legit incredible women's wrestlers. Even if you don't like her, Mercedes Moné, Mina Shirakawa. For me, Deonna Purrazzo. Like, they're all great women's wrestlers. They are the long-term future of women's wrestling if you fucking book them properly. You book them properly, you let them work properly the way they want to work, and you actually accommodate in the right way. You let the fans enjoy it, they will flourish and actually grow. If you don't, then they're going to get stale. They're not going to get the enjoyment that they have in the sport. And eventually they just fall out of love with the profession. That is what's happened to many great wrestlers. Trish Stratus at one point, just as an example, at one point she was one of the best. She retired in 2006 because she felt it was the right time to go out. 6 years was too long. I think she just fell out of love with it. I think she fell out of love with the sport. And I don't blame her, because at that point, what happened in one company was starting to change the dynamic, and it was lost, and she just didn't fit. And I think that is a big telling point. If you don't have that, you're going nowhere. Look at Bianca Belair right now. Bianca Belair is incredible. But did they let her be that consistently? No. A talent can only do so much with lackluster booking. They still need something. They still need to be given more. You can't have them shelling out and doing nothing and hoping that they can make something special. No. Give them something. Let them enjoy it and don't fuck them about. You know what I mean? So there's a critique I've got of women's wrestling. And I'm an advocate for women's wrestling. I'm not an advocate for fucking certain women. I'll tell you one right now. Dana Brooke. Or Ash by Elegance. Because she ruins the sport. There's reasons for that, but she generally sucks. But you need to allow talent to grow. You need to allow talent to fit their way in. And that's where the Fatal 4-Way works. Because the Fatal 4-Way was the blend of right talent, right style, can work in 50 minutes or less, and can also work longer than 15 minutes if it was stipulated. Obviously it can't, because it's a New Japan World TV title match, but they fit that match right, and they're in the exact place they need to be. The four of them could easily walk into the main event scene. They could. El Phantasmo could easily walk in to an IWGP main event and no one would say no. Ren Narita in the future could easily do it as well. Jeff Cobb, it's going to happen. He's already been there before. It's going to happen again. And Ryohei Oiwa, he will get pushed by Tanahashi in the right way. He will look after him. The president will look after him, especially because he has a similar look to him. He may not be similar to the Ace, but he's going to protect him and look after him in the right way. And they're all young talent as well. And they get it. They know what they're doing. And I think that's something that's lost in the business right now, is how you book them. You've got to put the talent in the right way. You've got to let them flourish. You've got to let them just appreciate their craft. Let them show the fans who have paid their hard-earned money what you want. And essentially, that carried over to the next match, where you're paying to see exactly what you want. People paid long and hard to see the first major match of the Tanahashi retirement tour. Tanahashi versus the King of Darkness, Evil. Now, I did put something up on my Twitter earlier on, but I'm pretty sure I put up on the channel, on the community tab. Let me just check. 2 seconds, everybody. I'm pretty sure I put it on here. Guess not. What I put up was the contrast of their entrances. So I'm actually going to find it and I'm going to show you what I meant. Like, I thought the presentation of both men was spot on, and I really did like it. Like, I really loved it. Let's see if I can find it. Yes. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Present. Actually, hold on for share. Yes. So I put it on this one because I'm sharing it off my second screen. Just look at the way. Obviously, it is one of my edits as well, but just look at the way that just look at the way that Evil is presented. The dark, sinister lighting, the cloak. It just fits him to a T. Now, I'm not a particular fan of Evil. I haven't been for a very, very long time. I used to be. I will give talent credit where credit's due, and I liked his presentation. In contrast to Tanahashi, it was like watching Wrestle Kingdoms 9 through 14 again. He just looks quality. He will always be the star. Like, there's no bigger star than him in New Japan. And I've got many, many favorites in this organization. like he is the star of the promotion. He always will be. After that, I would say Okada. Before Okada moved on. This one, however, it was when the bell rang is when everything changed. When the bell rang, it felt like the match just didn't get going. And I'm not going to say it's one person's fault, because it's not. I just think that they got the wrong way around. I don't think it needed a lumberjack stipulation. I think having the interference, though, works really well. Like, I think the interference is still crucial to the match. I'm not denying that. Because it is a turning point, especially the post-match angle that they've told. I just disagree that they needed a lumberjack match. Tanahashi obviously does eat a few of Evil's signature moves, and he also takes the finish. The Darkness Bomb, especially, sold that like it'd been shot. It was after that point where it didn't matter. It was over. Like, once he'd already kicked out of that STO, that was it. You know, like the Dead Order, that was it. Like, there was nothing else. Like, what more could you realistically do? It kind of sums up my problem with pro wrestling, though. Like, every company does this, right? So I'm not just going to single out New Japan, but every company does this. Why? Oh, why? And I'm going to put this comment in the chat, which I'm going to put up as a banner, and I just want to get everyone's opinion on it. So let me know what you think. I just want to get everyone's opinion on this. So just let me know what you think. Now, I am not knocking wrestling for this. I'm just asking a question. I'd like to know what people think about this. I would like your opinions in the chat. Should a wrestling match always include every signature and finishing move? And if you do think it should, tell me why. I'm on the same opinion as Catherine. I agree. I think, and I've got a great example, and I know it goes back decades, but it's just to prove a point of why you don't always need a finishing move or a signature move. The So there's two actually very good examples of this. And for many, you may have seen these, you may not have, but there's 4 matches, one company, spread across a 5-year period. So one of the examples is from 1993, the other is 1998. So the first one is, for me, who I consider the greatest professional wrestler of all time, Bret Hart. In 1993, he unfortunately loses the world title, or the WWE title as it was. He loses the WWE Championship to Yokozuna, but he wins the first pay-per-view event of the King of the Ring. But it's his second time as King of the Ring winner. He has 3 matches. He wrestles Razor Ramon. He wrestles Mr. Perfect, who in my opinion is his best ever opponent. And he wrestles Bam Bam Bigelow. In each match, he doesn't use 2 moves. I don't care. So the first obvious move he doesn't use the sharpshooter, and he doesn't use the pile driver. But what makes these matches great is the different ways to win. It's that in-ring psychology. And it's the same with the second match I'm going to use, which is it doesn't end in a pinfall, it doesn't end in a submission, but it ends in a double countout. But it's Taker versus Kane at Judgment Day. It's any way to win without needing to use your finishing move or your signature move. And it actually makes the match more intriguing. It gives you an element of, well, what other ways can you do to win besides going for the obvious? And that's what these matches do. So this is why I'm using this question as relevance. Should a wrestling match always include these moves? No, because it actually ruins this match's quality. Because not only do we get one high fly flow, frog splash from Tanahashi, we get 2. You've already ruined it. There's no need. It took 2 minutes to do 2 moves. No need. Should have been 1. Or win with a roll up. After enduring all that pain, just drag him in for a roll up. Stun the crowd. Fans today do not understand in-ring psychology because of the WWE since the 2000s. Certain talent. It's because of certain talent. I also think the way it's been overdone in certain organizations as well, where it's always got to be move. I'm not saying that because it's an attack on like certain companies, like you just do a move, and then don't go for a pin. I'm just saying you need to do sometimes a little bit less is a little bit more. But it's about the timing. And I think if you can get that right, you've got the perfect match. That's why some of the matches at World's End was good. It's why some of the matches from TNA's first live show of the year was good. Ironically, SmackDown had some of this, but it just needs to fill out. You need to just fill in the right way of the crowd. Otherwise, it's going nowhere. And that's what's lost right now. And that's what was lost in this match. Too many attempts for the sake. I like it when they go for multiple attempts though. Multiple attempts of your finish, and you can't get it, but then you finally get it. You hook it, and you win. Also, I just want to say as well, I like the post-match angle. The House of Torture attacks Tanahashi, out comes Shibata, saves him, and then out of respect, he challenges Tanahashi tomorrow for Wrestle Dynasty. Tanahashi's accepted, so we do get that match tomorrow as a special. So that's going to be good. We have 5 matches left to review. And I want to get people's opinion. What did you think of Takeshita versus Takagi? Now, I really like the match, but I have a problem with it. I want to know if anyone can figure out what my problem was with this match. Let's see if anyone can figure it out. What do you think I didn't like? Let's see if anyone in the chat can guess. The answer is in front of you, by the way. Like, the answer is 100% right in front of you. Give everyone just another minute, and if you can't figure it out, I will just tell you. Nope. Okay, I'll tell you. This is the answer. Nope, I didn't say scroll the whole thing, thank you. I'm sorry, but you've made a massive mistake. Now, the final moment of this match, obviously, is that spinning Falcon Arrow for the pin. Great move by Takeshita for the win. But why are you honestly putting title versus title in a 50-50 match at Wrestle Kingdom where a New Japan talent doesn't defend their title successfully? I'm sorry, but no, this was bad. Like, the match was good. The decision was bad. I'm sorry, but I cannot I can't praise that. Like, I think Takagi's incredible. I think Takeshita is so different. But you cannot convince me that this should have been title versus title. I'm sorry, but you can't. You can't justify it to me. Especially when a non-signed talent in New Japan wins one of your titles. I don't understand that. I'm sorry. I think it takes away any interest in the openweight title. It was already on a talent previously last year who isn't signed to the company, who won the damn thing, and then eventually did lose it to a New Japan talent, but it's still pointless. It makes no sense. I think Takeshita versus Shingo Takagi should have just been a cross-promotional match. It kind of spoiled it in a way. Now, it's a great visual, 2 belts alpha. It's a great visual of Takeshita holding both championships. But in no way, shape, or form should this have been title versus title. Because it's already sparked an uproar. I think it's a great match, by the way. I recommend, if you just want to watch any of these matches from this event, because you can watch it in chapters, this is a good watch. Like, it is a really good watch. It's just spoiled by the stipulation. That's the only problem. It's ruined by a stipulation. And it's a shame, because both these guys are on a different level. There aren't many in wrestling who are on their level. Like I said, I'm not going to praise everything about this show, because then it's not that you can't praise everything. It's you have to still critique some things. You still have to draw a line, and I draw a line at title versus title. I draw a line at title versus title when it's 2 different companies. Like, it makes no effort. Not unless you're actually going to go over there and be part of the promotion and defend the title frequently. Like, it doesn't do anything. So there's a spoiler for Wrestle Dynasty. About a match in particular that I think doesn't need to be title versus title. But it'll still be a good match. There's a spoiler. The next match, unfortunately, ended sooner rather than expected because of injury, but this was a very good match. Despi does defeat Duki, but obviously Duki does get injured. Does go well. Both men presented really strongly. Good match. Just unfortunately, it's spoiled by the injury, so there's not much to evaluate. So I can't do that. I don't think that's particularly fair. The next match, however, is the best match on the card. Yota Tsuji versus David Finlay for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, which obviously replaced the US Heavyweight title from last year. This match proved 2 things. One, Yota is the future ace. Like, he is the future ace. And he's the right now for New Japan. Secondly, David Finlay, make him IWGP World Champion by the end of the year. Because he gets it. This was start to finish brutal. It was jaw-dropping. It was intoxicating. And it had what you wanted. It had the champion trying to wriggle out of the opposition as much as he could. But it had the challenger in moments gaining control where you want it to be. And that is so vital in a match, especially when it's a top heel and a top babyface. I really liked this one. I thought it was really good to watch. Shame that it went a little bit less than it deserved. I think this match deserved more than 19 minutes. I would have given nearly 30. I would have given it close to 30 minutes, but still 20 minutes for your mid-card, your main mid-card championship is still a good match. And they got everything they needed to do in the time frame. The only thing we didn't get was the Oblivion, but that's good because what we got was one finish. Well, we got one kick out of a finish, but we did get at least the finish ending by the Gene Blaster Spear, which is that incredible spear that Tsuji hits. A lot of wrestling outside the ring. There's the Uranagi on the table. Tsuji goes through it, nearly loses the count out, makes it back in on the count of 18. I thought Finlay at the very end, the way he sold the loss was really good. Obviously, he's sitting by the post on the outside of the ring. He's sitting there in disgust that he's lost. He's someone that gets it. The German suplex that he does. Brilliant. There's a great counter as well from Tsuji when Tsuji goes for the Gene Blaster as well. And he knees him right in the face. Completely neutralized him. I like that shit, you know? That's really good. So congratulations to Tsuji. Next one, quickly, long story short, this match went 5 minutes too long. But Naito as a special attraction against Takahashi. I'm glad that they finally got this one. They will now be part of the triple threat for the tag titles tomorrow with Great-O-Khan and Jeff Cobb and the Young Bucks. So that's going to be a great match. Watch that tomorrow. It ends with, again, like I said about multiple finishes, 2 Destinos. Takahashi shouldn't be kicking out of it, I'm sorry. But it went 5 minutes too long, but it's nice that they got at the very end, the salute. And then, because I am being rushed, unfortunately, so I do apologise, folks. But I do need to, unfortunately. I was hoping to be here a bit longer, but I can't. But I'm going to do more for Wrestle Dynasty tomorrow. And I'm going to do a little bit more, actually, after this, but unfortunately, I'm being called away. Main event, 10 minutes too long. But you can't work this way. Just finish it.
No, I told you. It was good.
Okay, where was I? Yes. This match, 10 minutes too long. It proves that Shota, right now, don't put him in the main event. But Zack Sabre Jr., great match. Ricochet tomorrow, it's going to be a great match. It'll be a better match for him. But don't make Zack go more than 30 minutes. Overall, I really enjoyed Wrestle Kingdom. I think it's a great match, a great event. Go watch it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Sadly, I do need to go away a little bit early, but I will be doing a little bit more review on it later on. So an extra review for another hour, and I'll tell you why later. But in the meantime, I do need to bounce, so I'll see you guys shortly. I do apologise. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Thanks, guys.